Hi Jimmy, welcome to the show. It is amazing. The perfect way to start an epic week is with someone as epic as you. You know what I mean?
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
Absolutely. So, let's dig into the whole interview now, and let's go back in time a little bit here and tell me like how this journey through acting started.
I started acting when I was a kid.
Okay.
I was performing on our coffee table, our little living room coffee table
Yeah.
with my brother. Um, and then my very first professional acting gig, I was 8 years old. 8 or 9. I had just
Mm.
turned. And I was cast in Annie as an orphan. And after that, I ended up booking another professional show. I
Wow.
was in Sound of Music. And then I just loved acting and being an artist. And I went to theater camp. I did theater in middle school and in high school. I went to college for acting.
Wow.
It has been pretty much a sure thing from the beginning for me.
Absolutely. So basically, since little, acting was always like the main goal, right?
Hmm.
That is
Yeah,
great.
acting and performing. I did a lot of singing and dancing early in my career. I've transitioned a little bit from singing and dancing to more straight theater and then also film and television.
Wow, amazing. And focusing a little bit here on your acting career, tell me like how you prepare a character. Now, of course, I understand that it depends on the role, but like, what are usually the first, let's say like the first steps you always take for you to start this process of creating a character?
For me, I really like to think uh, outside in. So I like to think of the music that my character would listen to. I like to think of what they would wear. I like to journal as if I'm the character. So I'll journal backstory,
Mm,
I'll journal memories, or just things that I think the character would have. And I kind of journal as if I'm them. I like to make vision boards for the character. So I'll pull a bunch of images and kind of create a vibe for the character. And then I do a lot of analyzing of the script and the text and trying to put that all together. I do weave in personal experience and memories that I've had. And yeah, and then I just kind of let the character speak through me once I've done all of that research and kind of like set the groundwork for character development.
okay, I mean, so it's basically a whole process here, which I find really amazing, and also it's really cool, right? Whenever you get the chance to create like this connection with the character and then you present it to the audience and then the audience somehow they feel related to it, I find it very interesting that you can relate to someone at that moment that you don't know anything about, but the fact that they're either perhaps like their emotions or the way they are handling the situation that we are watching, you get the chance to feel, I mean, yeah, you care about this character, as an spectator or as the audience, you get to a moment in which you really care about that character, like if it was either, I don't know, like your best friend or family member or someone you care.
Yeah. I mean, we have to care about the characters. Otherwise, we don't care about the story. You know?
Absolutely.
Like we have to be invested in them. We have to be excited to get to know them. If we don't have that,
Mm,
then you really the story could be interesting, but you really want to know what's happening to this person and how are they responding to it and why do I want to keep watching that, especially for like a TV series, right?
yeah.
So if you're watching a character for 11 seasons, you have to really care about them as a person and a character.
I can totally understand that. Yeah. And moving on here a little bit here, to me, like, what has been either the funniest or worst audition you ever had? Like that audition that perhaps at the moment wasn't funny at all, but right now it's funny.
I auditioned for a kids show, and
Okay.
when I showed up to the audition, they said that we had to take our shoes off, and I wasn't really prepared for that. I was wearing boots. It was in the winter, so I was wearing knee high boots, and underneath my knee-high boots were these St. Patrick's Day socks that said "Get Lucky" on them with giant green shamrocks. Uh, did not match my outfit at all. Again, I didn't. Who takes their shoes off at an audition?
Right.
I just wasn't prepared for that. And I just, I did my best, but all I kept thinking of during my audition was, I wonder what they think about my socks. And I just felt like it was such a distraction. So I don't know.
I love it. And you used to have those socks, or
no?
Oh,
they're not lucky.
They weren't lucky at all.
No.
Okay. And like, what advice could you give to someone who is starting to audition? Like this fresh actor who is just starting on this audition process, let's say.
I think the most important thing to remember as an artist is that there's so many things that make you a good artist that have nothing to do with your talent. Are you a good person? Do you show up on time? Are you prepared? Are you a great person to work with? There's a lot of things. We think so much about talent. Are we good enough talent-wise? But there's just other things that tend to be more important. The relationships you build, your energy. Your energy is really important when you go into an audition. And the other thing I would say is if you get the opportunity as an actor to be a reader or to sit behind the table during an audition, it is so helpful to see all of these actors come in. They're so talented. Everybody's so talented. And you just see the process. And you also start to understand how casting directors see you when you walk in the room, how directors see you. And it's true, when you walk in the room, they already know within like 5 seconds if you're right for the role. And that's before you've even said anything or sang or done your monologue or your sides. So they already know if you're a fit. And that, they want you to succeed. They truly want you to do your best job. They want you to be their solution to the problem that they have of trying to find someone. So if you can think about it that way, I think it's a bit of a relief. It takes some of the pressure off.
Okay, yeah. And like how you handle those typical second thoughts after the audition, like those moments in which you go, you're done with the audition, then you start thinking about like, I should have done this instead of that, I should have said this instead of, like how you handle those thoughts, because I do think, right, that if you let those thoughts to consume you, 3 hours later you're still thinking of the same thing over and over and over, right? Like how you manage to just be like, okay, it happened, whatever, I'll move on to the next one or so.
I think it's just kind of like you said, you have to leave it in the room. You did it, it's done. You can't go back and fix it. It's kind of shut the door and move on. That's easier said than done, especially if it's something that you were really excited about. But I've heard so many stories where people have auditioned and then they don't hear anything for a really long time. And then someone reaches out to them a year later and calls them in for either the same role or a different role. So if you do a good job, it's just about doing a good job and knowing that casting directors and directors will remember you. They really do. Like I've directed and I've worked as a casting director and casting assistant, and I remember really good auditions, and I have like a list in my mind of people that I want to work with or people that I think would be right for certain projects. So know that if you do a good audition and you don't hear anything, it doesn't mean that people are forgetting you or have forgotten you. There's still a chance that you're on someone's mind and you're on their short list. It's just not the right part yet. And then I think just like really knowing that the right role will not pass you by. So if it's right for you, you're gonna get it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It makes sense. We have seen like plenty movies or TV shows that the character feels perfect for the actor, right? I can understand that. And so basically, it's like so basically it's like whatever you do, just enjoy it, have a good time, and the right things will come at time, and don't try to push anything. I mean, don't try to be like, okay, I need to have this role, yes or yes, but it's not for me. I don't care. I want it because otherwise it's not gonna look real, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
And I think one of the things when you do get an opportunity to be in the room watching auditions, you can really tell when someone is desperate. It just kind of, there's
Like an air of it.
yeah, it's an air
Okay.
of it, and it's not very attractive.
Yeah, of course.
um, for me as an artist, I felt like as an actor, that I kept asking the universe for things over and over again. Like, I'm asking for an audition, I'm asking for a manager, I'm asking for representation, I'm asking to be seen, I'm asking to be heard, always asking. And when I started creating my own content, that really changed because what I was putting out into the world was opportunities to collaborate, opportunities for jobs,
Mm.
opportunities to create. And that really shifted for me as an artist, what I was putting out into the world. And I actually started booking more work as an actor because I was going into those rooms, and instead of asking for all this stuff, I was just there. And I also had really cool projects that I was working on. So if I didn't get the role, I didn't feel like it was make or break, because
Hmm.
I was already creating content that I was really excited about.
Absolutely, that's so cool. And like what is your dream role here? Let's say that you get the opportunity one day to play your favorite role. What is that role you're like, I want that one day?
I mean, I would love to be on a really cool sci-fi show. I would love to be a part of the Star Wars universe or uh Marvel. Like, I
Yeah.
think that would be amazing, being like a really cool superhero. I also think it'd be really fun to be the voice of an animated character,
Hmm.
like a Disney animated character or a princess or something on Pixar. And then I think just kind of working with some people that I really admire would be awesome.
Absolutely.
I also want to direct, so there's a huge part of me that wants to direct certain actors
Mm.
and work with them in the future.
That's amazing. And now that you mentioned that you have directed some projects here and there, tell me like how you manage to prepare on a scene. I mean, so you will talk with the actor before shooting it, or it's on the script, you know what to do, or like perhaps you will have like conversation with the actor, like, okay, what do you want? Do you have like any ideas? Like, what is your approach to shoot to do a scene, let's say?
I come from a theater background, so I'm a big fan of rehearsals and doing a lot of script work.
Mm.
I tend to give recommendations of things to watch or things to listen to. I also, as a director, usually have a pretty, specific pitch deck and visual representation of like what I want the project to look like and feel
Okay.
like. And I give that to like the crew and the cast and everybody so they have a strong idea of what this project is about, what it
Mm.
looks like, what it feels like, what it sounds like. It's basically how I work as an actor. When you were asking me how I prepare for roles, it's the same way that I direct. I do the world building, I do the kind of, what does it smell like, what does it look like, what does it feel like, and then I give that to the actors, and then we kind of dive into the script and motivation for why characters are doing certain things and building relationships, and then we'll have rehearsal. But I don't think you should over rehearse. I think rehearsing is good, but let it be fresh, let it breathe. So yeah, that's
I love
usually,
it.
and I don't like to do a lot of takes. I usually try to get it quickly, like what I'm
Mm.
looking for.
Okay. Okay. That's awesome. And so let's say that one day I call you and I tell you that I want to become an actor. Now, of course, I don't have any experience at all, like zero. I mean, the only possibly role that I have ever in my life was like in high school for a play. I only had one role, one line, and I screw it, of course. But like my point here is like, what advice would you give to me or to someone who is on his 30s, and it's about throwing everything away and start a new career like from scratch. And on this time, it will be acting career. So what advice would you give?
I really think that improv is a great place to start.
Okay.
So, any sort of sketch comedy improv group would be really great. It teaches you how to listen,
Mm.
and it teaches you how to kind of like break some old habits that we might have as humans. Like, it's fun, it's silly, there's a lot of really great exercises that you can do just to kind of get your creative juices flowing. So I always recommend improv classes. I think that's a great way to start. I think working as an extra is a really great place to start because you can be on set and you can kind of be observant of what's happening. You can watch, you can hear the language and the dialogue. You can learn about all the different departments.
Okay.
And if you feel really comfortable on set, then when you get the opportunity to be a day player or a lead role, you already kind of know the environment of being on a TV set. So I think that's like a really great way to go. You need good headshots. Everything is visual these days, and I think headshots are super important. Even if you don't have all the training yet, you could still book work with a good headshot. So
there you go.
That's important too.
I'll tell you what. If I ever get an Oscar, you can be sure that I'm gonna mention you in my thank you speech. I love it.
Yay!
I love it. I love it. Now, let's say that one day, Netflix, HBO Max, Disney Plus, I mean, you name it. They come to you and say, we got this idea for a film in which basically goes that all of the characters you have played at the moment, they're going to gather to celebrate your birthday. Tell me, what would be the name of that film?
I don't know. I mean, I think it would be like a combination of, it would be such an interesting group of people all together because I've done some really like dark roles or complex roles, and then I've done a lot of girl next door, kind of cute dumb blonde roles. So it would be I feel like it would be a split personality party. Gemini or like twin, maybe that would be the name.
Twin.
Yeah.
Okay. And what would it be? Would it be like comedy, dark comedy, perhaps horror? Like, what would it be? I
think it would probably be like maybe dark comedy or a mix of like comedy and dark.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
And if you have to choose one of your characters to go out, have some drinks, which character would you go out with?
I would go out with. Oh, that's a good question. I would go out with the character I most recently played in Legacy. She is the president of the sorority, but she is a vigilante who kills bad men and eats them to get rid of their bodies. So she's really fun. She knows how to have a good time, but she also can kick some ass.
I like it. Okay. And now that you mentioned, you mentioned before that you would like to be one day either in Star Wars or the Marvel. If you would have the chance to create your own superhero, what would be your superhero name, and what would it be your superpower?
I don't.
Let's leave the name if you want. Only the name and the superpower for later on.
Well, superpower, I could think of like, I think it'd be great to read people's minds.
Okay.
Or to be invisible. I think that would be really fun too.
Or both.
Yeah. So like read people's mind and be invisible. That could be really cool. also being a shapeshifter, I think would be really cool. Like being able to turn into anything, be it an animal or a person.
Mm,
Um, as far as superhero name, I don't know. I would have to really think about that.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I really love Supergirl um, on the CW. Like, I thought
Mm-hmm.
that show was fun. You know, it obviously, I mean, it was a really fun show, and I like the character of Supergirl and what she stands for.
Okay. So the superhero name will leave it for later then.
Yeah.
Very good. Now, let's say that one day I open up a bar and then I tell you I need to have new drinks. And then I got this idea in which I will ask you if you could describe your whole career on a drink, what would it what would it be and how would you call it? Now, you can choose either a regular drink or you can create one.
Um, this is a great question. It's complicated though.
Mm,
My career has changed a lot and
okay.
grown a lot as I've grown.
Mm,
So, first being actor, singer, dancer, and then I added in film and television, and then I added in directing and producing and casting assistant. And now I'm an intimacy coordinator. So it would probably have to be some sort of like giant punch bowl with a bunch of things in it.
right? Like layers, right? Things like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what it would be. And then it would be flavorful and fun and easy to drink, but packs a punch.
Okay, like okay, so those type of drinks that you can drink one, two, three, four, five, you don't feel anything, and then once you get up, you're like, oh, okay, it hits me now. Something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, something like
Okay.
that.
Okay, I love it. I love it. And like my last question here is like, what motivates you? You know, we all have those things, right? And we just want to quit. And it's so interesting because sometimes things might be normal, nothing bad is happening, everything's cool, but then you got this toxic bubble coming to you, or like this toxic cloud coming to you, and then you start to feel miserable, and then you start to question yourself, and it's. So my question here is like, how you manage to get out of it, so you can continue this journey that you have been creating for so many years now.
I think a couple of things. I think everyone gets discouraged. So if you're feeling discouraged about being an artist, I mean, I think there's ups and downs all the time with being an artist. And what I can say is that you have to find the joy in it for yourself, because so much of being an artist is the response of the audience
Mm,
and the people who see the art. But it needs to be art that you would create, even if it just makes you happy. It has
mm,
to be art that you're creating for you. And then it's a beautiful accident that lots of other people like it too, kind of thing. Um, Shonda Rhimes actually just recently said something like that in a panel. She said that they just keep creating stories that they find interesting and that they are excited to see. And then it just so happens that there's a lot of people who feel the same way they do. But if that they tried to make something that would make other people happy, or that they think other people would like, it might not actually be as good as the stuff that they're creating that they want to see.
mm,
Yeah.
okay.
And then when I'm really discouraged, I give myself a pep talk, a shower pep talk.
Yeah.
I have been practicing my Academy Award acceptance speech in the shower since I was a kid. So if I ever get super discouraged, I think about what I would say in that moment accepting my Academy Award.
That's so cool. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, amazing. Well, I mean, at the end, what can I say? I mean, the fact that you have been involved in so many things now. I mean, and also what you have been telling me so far. I mean, basically, I could say so. This is Jamie. She's doing everything, from acting, directing, producing, casting. I mean, would you name it, she got it, and that's really cool because it shows like the passion you have to, yeah, like the passion you have for this, like for the craft, for your art, even, and even for yourself, and it is really cool that you do what makes you happy. And I know that it sounds like super cliche whenever they tell you, oh, what makes you happy, yeah, but we do know that it's not easy. Sometimes it could take years, your whole life even, to finally discover. So the fact that you had it since little and you are making progress and you're showing that hey, besides acting, I can produce, I can direct, I can do casting. I mean, I can do everything. That is really cool, and I'm super sure that thankful speech is gonna happen anytime soon. You know that.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited. I know it's gonna happen one day, and we'll see. I've kind of let go of what it's for. Maybe
Yeah.
I get an Academy Award for producing. Maybe I get an Academy Award for directing. Maybe it's for acting. I mean, I hope it's for acting and directing, and I don't know, maybe it's for everything, but
Yeah.
yeah, just
I love
keep
it.
keep pursuing the dream.
There you go. I'm super sure that one day one of our conversations are gonna be where I can put more awards on my wall because it's full now. That's gonna happen. Hear me on that.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe also at some point you will get your own action figure too. That would be cool.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
That
That
would be
would be
cool.
very cool. I have a friend who's the voice of a video game character, and there's an action figure of like her animated character, which is very cool.
That's amazing. And yeah. So basically, yeah, Jimmy, keep doing what you do. As I said, it is really cool. It's amazing. Keep inspiring because that's like the goal that you're making here. I mean, you're inspiring people, and I find that super cool. I also want to thank those who watch listening to. Thank you so much. If you're either listening to this on Spotify, Apple Podcast, make sure to go follow Jamie like right now. The video is over, so go follow her. Let's make her viral. Hashtag Team Jamie. She's amazing. She's awesome. And again, Jamie, thank you so much. Have an incredible week. Keep killing it, and I'll see you in the next one.
Thank you so much.
All right.